Nobody normally cares about Norwegian football, but it's hit the headlines over the last few days.
Not even Jan.
We're voting to scrap VAR. Jan, where are we on this? Where's this come from, and will it go through?
Well, first of all, Shaka had a good point. Not even Jan. What happened is that there was quite early a very skepticism in Norway against VAR. There are different reasons for that. The main argument now is that they kill the moment, and the fans in Norway have learned the democratic processes of football, so they get involved in membership. They are members of the clubs. They vote. They do lobbying. So what has happened now is that the clubs in the top flights, they have there is a majority against it. And now in March, there's going to be the General Assembly of the Norwegian Football Association. And it's funny enough that the top clubs, they are kind of not so much involved in that. That is all small clubs in all Norway. So my club in 7th division, Gursken, going to talk about VAR or not VAR in Norwegian football. That's another discussion. But the fronts are quite hard here. People are discussing this big time. And we know Sweden never started with VAR. So it's interesting. There's like a 50-50 thing that is become go or not. I got a feeling that these fans, good organized, they will kind of lobby so hard that the representatives there, they will vote against it.
Wow. What do you think, Shank? Part, of course, the IFAB committee that started all of this.
That kind of initiated the processes. And listen, on the one hand, you understand the sentiment of the fans about killing the moment, etc., but then you translate that to, and with the greatest respect, I'm sure Norwegian football doesn't generate the kind of revenue that the Champions League does. If your team is denied a Champions League final berth or denied winning the Champions League because of a contentious VAR decision or a decision that VAR would have overturned, I'm not sure that the moment is all that is cracked up to be in that regard. And kind of given that clubs, certainly at the top end of European football, how carefully their finances are kind of are cut in terms of we have to get to this point in this competition or not. Those decisions, one way or the other, going against you, can have long-lasting knock-on effects.
Frank, is the genie out of the bottle?
Say that again.
Well, I'm talking to Frank.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
If you don't mind.
No, I'd love to hear from you, Frank.
No, yeah, thank you very much. No, I really think that it doesn't make any sense for me. I mean, even if I understand, you have a right to discuss about the feeling that you have when you have a game, you have to wait for the goal, blah blah blah. But really, it's very disappointing for me to see that people still don't realize that it's going to get better. It's going to get better and better, and we're going to be more professional in that way, in that matter, because we're going to be fair. And as Shaka explained, if you lose a game because of a stupid decision, because you couldn't see at the VAR that there was an offside or not, that will be unfair because we have the technology. The technology brings something better to our football.
And I'm 100% with you, and I'm 100% with both of you. I see this as the future. It will keep getting better and better. It will go quicker and quicker. And the problem is, of course, also in Norway, I do respect the fans that are against it in the terms of the moment argument, fair enough. But it's also, I think that will be a general problem. Is FIFA going to implement it all over the world? I saw Infantino talking about there will be a cheaper variant of VAR, so at least they will have something. The problem is, I don't see the big problems in the Champions League when you have 30 cameras and you have all the technology, but I can see there is some annoyance when you see some lines. I was working at the European League. I can't remember now where it was, which game it was. They had a photo that looks like my mom took a photo of me when I was 7 years of age to decide if it was offside or not. I mean, so the technology that Frank is talking about got to be world class as well to be getting acceptance from the fans.